Hi everyone. In last session we have discussed about biodiversity, the causes of its extinction. Today we will start with the different tools that are used for study of biodiversity. Because it is a wide variety, so it is not easy to study all the living organisms in a book. That's why we use certain tools to study biodiversity. First of all, these are the specimens. You know, these specimens are the dead part of the plant or animals that are kept in some preservative. They are preserved for the study. The solution that is commonly used is 2.5% formalin solution. You know about formaldehyde? It is a gas, it is soluble in water, and we make a solution of formalin to preserve these specimens. As along with that formalin solution, we can use FAA, that is formaldehyde acetic alcohol, that we can also use to preserve. They will not decay. Plant or animal bodies are preserved in this way, and we use a specimen to study the different varieties of plants and animals. Second thing is herbarium. These are the plants that are well dried and pressured, and they are preserved. And this preserved dried plant are known as herbarium. There is a definite pattern to make herbarium from the plant body. First of all, it is the collection of the plants. We will collect different varieties of the plant. The entire plant should be there. Shoot system along with the root system. In the case of herbs or even shrubs, we can take a small plant. But in the woody plants, they are very large in size. So we can take a twig having leaf, flower, inflorescence, most of the things, fruit that may be available. We took that portion of the plant first. Second step is pressing and drying. We press in between two paper, spread it properly, folding or it should not be there. We press them in between the papers, and if they are succulent plant having moisture content more, then we use blotting paper for drying. In case if the water contents are much more, we use artificial heater or dryer also to remove moisture and water contents from the plant body. Third step is poisoning. Because we are going to preserve these herbarium for a longer period of time, so that should be preserved. That should not be affected by insects, rodents or other animals. That's why we use poisoning. Most of the cases it is 2% mercuric chloride. Sometimes naphthalene balls you are familiar about. They are also we use to keep the insects away from the woolen cloth. These naphthalene or DDT that is an insecticide. These type of chemicals we use for poisoning. Next step is mounting and labeling. We will spread the entire plant body on a sheet that is known as herbarium sheet. All the herbarium sheet are having the same size, approximately the same size. It is of 29 by 42 centimeter. So we will spread it properly. No folding or overlapping of the body part should be there. And then we paste it with the help of glue. If it is not possible, stitch it with the on the sheet, or sometimes we can use tape, cello tape also, to mount the plant body on this herbarium sheet. Second step is labeling. On the right hand side, lower corner of the herbarium sheet, we write all the information related to that plant. What are these information? These are the common name of the plant, scientific name of the plant, habitat from where you have obtained that plant, the name of the collector who have collected that plant name, and other details that you know about the plant that are written at the corner, and that is known as labeling. Because these are the plant body living organism, dead living organism, so that's why we do not prefer to store these herbarium sheet या herbarium file in wooden almirah because they will be prone to the insects or other rodents easily. So we use steel almirah to store these herbarium files. So these are the steps for making and storing the herbarium. These herbarium are the source of plant or body to, if we want to study, we can study through the herbariums. Next is the botanical garden. We have discussed in the last session. There are certain places where different varieties of plants are stored, collected from different places and are kept in the natural environment. The world largest botanical garden is Royal Botanical Garden in Kew, that is in England. In India, we are having many botanical gardens like Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah. In Lucknow, we are also having a botanical garden, and in the same way, there are certain zoological parks also. Zoos, you know about. Here, different varieties of animals are kept. You can easily study their features. They are available. And second thing is museums. What is the difference between these botanical gardens, zoological park, and the museum? In museum, we are preserving the dead bodies of plant and animals. They are stored for a longer period of time. Most of the all the botanical gardens, zoological parks are in open because you are providing natural environment to the plant or the animals. But in the museums, in the building, these dead bodies are kept. So these are the museums that are also a source to study biodiversity. Next thing is keys. As the name suggests, keys are the easy, systematic scheme that we can use for identification and of different plants or animals. The keys are based on contrasting and distinguishing character. Most of the keys are based on contrast and distinguished characters. There are two types of keys, yoked or indented keys or bracketed keys. Yoked and indented keys is the sequence of different choices. Many choices are given, different choices are given. It is a sequence having, these choices are known as lead. For example, family Raniculaceae is the family of dicot angiosperm, and if we are studying different genera, different genus of variety of these Raniculaceae family, so we will take few characters, the size of the carpel, what type of carpel they are fused or free, what is the size, shape of the fruit, what type of fruit it is. So these are the different choices that we are taking to identify the plant belonging to the Raniculaceae. Bracket keys में there is pair of contrast statement. Two statements. The two statements are known as couplet. There are two contrast statements. For example, if we are going to identify cat, so is hair present on the body or not? Yes or no? Externally present or no? Not present? Yes or no? So these are the two contrast statement, pair of contrast statement, that is called couplet. And each character is having a number in the bracket. That's why it is called bracketed key. Because there is a wide variety of living organisms, we have discussed about biodiversity. It's not easy to study all these living organisms. That's why we classify them. There is a branch of science in which we divide on the basis of their characteristic, morphology, habitat and many features. We divide all the living organisms into different categories. That is known as classification or taxonomy. Taxonomy, there are different categories in which we are dividing all the plants and animals. These categories are known as taxa. Taxa is plural because there are many groups, so they are known as taxa. That's why the name is given taxonomy. Carolus Linnaeus is known as the father of taxonomy, and he also gave binomial system, means a classification a scientific name is given to all the plants and animals, so that we can easily understand what is the name of that particular to which plant or animal we are discussing about. There is one more thing that is known as phylogeny. Phylogeny is the study of fossils, anatomy, and the basis of taxonomy is phylogeny. On the basis of the study of fossils, their anatomical features, their differences in anatomy, these are the basis of classification. They are having these taxonomy basis is having 4 steps basis. First is characterization. We will study the characters of the living organism. Then identification. We will identify to which category it belongs, and then we will do the classification. And after doing the classification, we will give the name to the living organism, that is known as nomenclature. The name is given in this because we are saying binomial system means 2. Bi means 2. The 2 name is given, just like we are having name and surname. In the same way, if we are giving scientific name to a plant or animal, it is having 2 parts. First name belongs to the genus and is written with capital letter. Another belongs to the species and is written with small letter. Start with small letter. So that is the scientific name, binomial nomenclature. It is also given by Carolus Williams. Now when we are discussing about the taxa, means different categories. The highest category of the taxonomy is the kingdom. 5 kingdom. Initially we are classification we will study in detail in next lesson. But you should know highest category, highest taxa of the classification. It is known as hierarchy of classification. So this hierarchy, highest level is kingdom and lowest is the species. All the plants or animals having morphologically, physiologically, anatomically similar, and they can interbreed also, belong to the same species. So these are the different label: kingdom, phylum. In case of animal we use this phylum, and in the case of plant we use division instead of phylum. They are further divided: subphylum, subdivision, subclass or superclass. They are further divided, but here we are going to study about the main taxa. Then class, then order, family, genus and species. These are the different taxa. I am explaining with the help of first an animal and then a plant. For example, we are dividing, classifying the Panthera tigris, means tiger. Tiger belongs to the animal kingdom Animalia. It is an animal. Phylum Chordata, because that bone is there and backbone is having vertebral column also. So subphylum will be Vertebrata. They are having hair on the body, external ear are present, mammary glands are present. They give birth to the young one. That's why they belong to the class Mammalia. Further, all the animals of that group, mammals that are carnivore, means flesh eating. They belong to the order Carnivora. In that case, dog, cat, all the carnivore will come in this category. Up to this, all are having the same classification. Then only the cat family will come into the family Felidae. Dog will eliminated from this category. Then the genus will come. Panthera is the common genus for lion, tiger, leopard, every individual that belong to this category. Panthera. And species naturally is this last feature. So tigris is the species of tiger. Leo, Panthera leo is the name of lion. In this way we can classify these animals. In the same way we can classify the plant also. Kingdom will be Plantae. Division will be Tracheophyta, because they are having vascular bundles, and subdivision will be Angiospermae. Why? Because they are having flowering plant there, that is Dicotyledon, two cotyledons are present in the seed. This type of cotyledons are present in the seed, and then the seed, the true fruits they are having. That's why they belong to the order Sapindales. You can see the seeds are present inside a hard covering in the mango. So that's why the family is Anacardiaceae. Genus is Magnifera or species is Indica. So if someone asks the scientific name for mango, so it will be, scientific name will be Magnifera indica. Okay, but you will write them separately, you will underline them separately, and if they are printed, the scientific names are written in italics. This is all about this lesson. Now I am giving you few questions that are related with this lesson. Do these questions in your notebook.